Hey creatives, I'm so excited today to bring you the information and things that I found out when I was at the Atlanta show. First of all, I want to give you the 4 top reasons every licensed artist should attend AmericasMart in Atlanta. Most companies have like an annual conference, or if you belong to an MLM, they have a big conference, and it's always so imperative that you attend those because it's inspirational and it gives you a sense of the business and where it stands and where it's going, and it fires you up to do better in your job and for the business. So this AmericasMart is that kind of a conference. I mean, if you're a licensed artist, if there's any way possible that you can get there, you need to. The main reason to attend AmericasMart in January in Atlanta is you set up appointments with your licensees. And I haven't been there in about 4 years. And now that I went back, I realize, wow, how important it really is. Because I set up meetings with my licensees and just to be able to reconnect with them. They were so happy that I was back. I was so happy to be back. And that face-to-face conversation goes so far. Most of my business throughout the year is done through email. And while that's very effective, very, not only effective, but what do I want to say? Convenient and easy to do and quick and short to the point type of thing. When you go to Atlanta and you sit face to face, you just have that better connection with that person. Not only that, but it's a great time to sit down, look at art, and to have that conversation and move your business further with that licensee. It just makes sense. My number 2 tip is just to be able to network with other artists. Being a licensed artist, you kind of in solitude. You're by yourself in your studio creating art, and there's this big huge world out there, but you're so focused on what you're doing and building your business, and you kind of lose sight of that. No one understands that better than another licensed artist. And to have that connection and those friendships with other artists, it's priceless. It really is. And I was so thrilled that this year I was invited to the artist gathering on Friday night. So I got to meet, I kept saying this like Facebook comes to life, because I'm Facebook friends with lots of artists and I'm familiar with their work. They've been in the business for years like I have, but I've never met them. And so at that artist gathering, I got to meet several artists that I've been friends with on Facebook for years. So that was awesome. And just to have that face-to-face contact in those conversations just connects you more with that person. So, and networking is great because you can bounce ideas off each other. You can talk about, God, what did you notice in the market as far as trends go? And just stuff like that. And just to be supportive of one another. It's really, really priceless. The third reason it's important to attend the AmericasMart is that you can see what's on trend. Yeah, going into the stores, and looking around, that's important too. But when you are at the market, you are there at the same time all the buyers are there purchasing products for their stores. And so you get to see, what do they have to offer? What color seems to be, congruent throughout the whole show? What themes are popular? It just gives you a great idea of where the licensees and where the manufacturer's head is at. And then you can see, you can talk to people. When you walk into a showroom, you're usually approached because you have a buyer's badge on, and you are approached by a sales rep. And you can ask them questions, what are your hottest sellers? What themes are selling well? And they'll show you around the showroom and tell you what is on trend for them or what is a hot seller for them. And that, for an artist, that is some inside information you're not going to get anywhere else. My 4th reason that you should attend AmericasMart is just to get inspired. Every time, and this has always been the case for me, but especially this time because I've been away for a few years, I come home so inspired. I set up meetings, we mapped out some, things that we want to do together for this coming year. And I'm so excited to get painting, get working on these things for my licensees. Not only that, but I got catalogs and I got information, and I have some companies that I'm not currently working with that I would love to work with, that now I have their catalog, I have a contact person, now I can contact them and see if they would be interested in licensing my artwork. So, I mean, you just come home with so much energy and just revitalized and ready to just do everything you can to get all the artwork done and make all these contacts become a reality for you. So yeah, just be inspired, get inspired by going there. So something that I want to share with you, aside from the top 4 reasons that you should go to Atlanta's AmericasMart, is trends. What did I notice as trends? I will tell you what I did see everywhere was word art on wood. Almost every showroom had word art, inspirational words, quotes, just funny little quirky sayings. And most of it was on wood, different color fonts. Some of it might have been hand lettered. For a licensed artist, if there's not art involved, unless you have really unique hand lettering, it's something that's a little hard to license. Not to mention, a lot of these companies feel that they can do that in-house with, having Photoshop and all of these fonts available to them. It's not something that I think they're willing to license unless there's art that goes along with the words. So, but I did see that everywhere. Also, what I noticed was the adult coloring book phase is not going anywhere. It is huge. It's not just coloring books now. There are people making greeting cards. So I thought that was kind of cool because you can either color it and then send it to someone, or it can be part of their, like a little gift where you send it to them and they get to color it. There were file folders, there were planners where you color the cover of your planner, or you color the pages inside of your planner. I mean, it was everywhere. Anything you can think of. I saw like home decor, like a drawing on a pillow, and then use fabric markers and color it in. It's everywhere. And so I don't see that going anywhere anytime soon, which actually is good for me because I'm in the process of making a coloring book of my angels. I was afraid that I was, too late, but I did a survey on my Facebook page and I had a really great response. And people still want, the coloring book, the coloring books that are out there, they're kind of generic, but if you have followers as an artist and people love your art and you bring your art to the table and it looks different than everyone else's because you have a certain style, I don't think it's too late for you. So if that's something you're interested in, whether it's through a licensee or you plan on publishing your own, it's not too late. The other thing I noticed was vintage Christmas. It wasn't necessarily in every showroom, but the showrooms that I like, the showrooms that I feel my art works with, those kind of manufacturers, I noticed vintage Christmas, the old world looking Santas and that kind of a theme. That was really strong. Farm was everywhere. Farm, a little more upscale, not cutesy farm. The rustic look, huge. Galvanized metal combined with wood and burlap, that kind of old, and barnwood, that kind of rustic theme, that was really prevalent at the show. The wine theme, still very strong. I mean, I don't see that going anywhere because I know there's a lot of women that love their wine. And so that's not going anywhere. But I did notice more beer art. So I thought that was really cool because it kind of brings the guys on board, and it's definitely a more masculine look for that art. That was cool. Not only nautical art and beach art, but lakeside art and riverside and camping and that whole theme. I saw that quite a bit. Something that I thought was interesting, I didn't notice quite as much Halloween is what I remember when I went 3-4 years ago. I mean, Christmas obviously still huge, and I know Halloween retail sales supposedly are right behind Christmas sales, but for decorating, but I didn't see a lot of Halloween like I used to see. Especially in Department 56, they used to have a huge area that was all Halloween, and it was very, very small. I was really surprised by that. The other thing was inspirational quotes, inspirational art, angels. That's still hot too. So that's what I have for you. Those are the trends that I noticed, and I don't necessarily call them trends because in roosters, I still saw a lot of chickens, roosters. So there wasn't necessarily anything huge and new other than the color book art. I think that is probably what I noticed to be the biggest new thing because it's so diversified now and not just in color books. But I just lost my train of thought. Oh, in the chalkboard art. That, from what I remember, was huge. I noticed it, but not as big as it was when it first came out. So that might be a trend that's on the downside. So that's what I have for you. Hopefully other artists are making their videos and writing on their blogs about the trends that they saw in Atlanta. If I notice any of those blog posts, I will definitely forward them so that you can read those as well. Because, it takes more eyes than just mine to really see. I mean, I didn't get to see the entire show. It's 3 buildings, 18, 19, 20 floors each with thousands and thousands of products that I can't possibly see everything. So that's what I noticed, and I hope that helps you in your designing and in your sketching, and just keeping those things in mind if you are a licensed. God, I cannot say that. If you're a licensed artist, I hope that these tips and these notes about trends help you. Until next time, happy creating. Bye now.